This is something I learned years ago from another YouTuber photographer here, Jared Poland, Furnos Photo. Why would it be any different for photography? In this video, we're gonna cover everything about selling photography prints, from printing, pricing, where to sell, paper types, and even one strategy that almost guarantees you'll actually make some sales. I'll also add timestamps below so you can jump to any particular section. All right, here's the truth. Selling prints sounds simple, but it could be one of the most complicated things you can do as a photographer. So let's do it right from the beginning and you can save yourself a lot of money. So you got some beautiful photos. Now what? Where can you sell them? You got a few options. You can do local art markets, galleries, your own website, friends and families, online platforms. I've tried all of them. This is where you need to make your first big decision. Do you want to sell everything yourself, physical products yourself, or rely on a website with drop shipping? That's a big decision. If you sell everything yourself, you're gonna need inventory. That means lots of money. If you go online route, you need traffic. Now you need a following. You need someone to go to that website to buy your photos. I started with the website. It was Zenfolio. I used them for about 10 years. And honestly, I sold very little. It cost me around $300 a year. And on top of that, the print costs were pretty high and there was extra fees for everything. And they used third-party labs anyway. And I ended up canceling that membership after 10 years and I started ordering prints directly from different labs. I tried a lot of them. Most of them are very similar in quality. A lot of them are really good. I personally had issues with Fine Art America and Pixels.com. It's the same company, just a different name. The main problem with them was paint chipping off the metal prints. Literally the print flaking off the metal. Anyway, I stopped using them a while ago. Now, here's something I learned the hard way. Selling online is very tough. Selling in person is much better because people see the print, they feel it, they look at it as something they can hold and experience, and usually that leads to an impulse buy. Online, unless you already have a big audience, and I'm talking a huge audience, it is a very slow game. Now, there's a lot of these art websites that promise you sales right away, and I'd be careful with those. I tried a few. I spent lots of money on fees and I sold very little. I actually lost money, to be honest, a lot of money. In person, it's much better until you build a strong, loyal following. Now, let's talk about printing. The biggest mistake a lot of people make is editing for your screen. I don't even know where my phone is, but all your screens are backlit. So when you edit for print, I recommend making a little bit brighter, making that image a little bit brighter because paper, it's gonna look a little bit darker. That's personal, but I'd recommend that just because of how you look at the print compared to how you look on a screen. Now, what do you print on? You got metal, you got canvas, you got fine art paper, standard paper, framed, unframed. This depends on two things, your budget and your audience. Who are you selling to? If you're selling to tourists, then you keep your prices low. Those are usually impulse buys. Businesses like hotels or restaurants, they want larger framed, polished work. Collectors or galleries, now presentation really matters. Your audience decides that product. All right, now let's get into pricing. This is where most people mess up. At the core, profit equals revenue minus costs. But here's the tricky part. Costs are a lot more than just the printing. There's shipping, online platform fees, credit card fees, business fees, taxes, and a lot more fees. But let's keep it simple. Let's say you print something for $100. Shipping and fees is $25. Your total cost is $125. You price it at $200. That sounds pretty good, right? $75 in profit. Now, let's say you sign up with a gallery, and in their contract, it states that you can't sell that print at a lower price anywhere else. And it also that pricing has to be consistent. So let's say you just leave it at $200. Now the gallery takes 50%. So out of the $200, 50% is $100, and you paid $125 for that photo to be displayed in that gallery. You just lost $25. Yes, galleries takes their commission on the sale price, not on your profit. Keep that in mind. That's something that they don't explain that well. So you raise the price to $300. Now you get $150 minus $125 cost. Your profit is $25. The gallery just made $150 to your $25. And trust me, watching everyone else make money off your work while you barely do, It's not a great feeling. And unfortunately, that is a repeating pattern. And not just in photography, that's in life. Everybody has a hand in your pocket in any industry. So you have to price your work accordingly. You have to price it where you can survive as a business and feel good about your gains. Here's quick advice. If you're starting out, be careful with galleries. They take anywhere from 20 to 50% commission, and other ones are charging you rent. So if nothing sells, you're still paying out of pocket. Unless people are coming to those galleries specifically to see your work, it could be a very risky move. Outside of galleries, I've had very good results with smaller tourist-based stores. Lower prices, lower commissions, usually impulse buys. Most stores are happy to sell things that they don't make or have to manage. For them, it's a win-win. So if you find a small store that you can display local artwork or local prints, smaller ones, that's usually a very good selling point. Now, pricing can be its own video. It should be its own video because there's very different models for pricing. The standard model, like double your markup, so 100 or triple your markup, 200%. You can also adjust the markup based on your competitor pricing and what your audience is willing to pay. There's a lot of factors: your cost, your location, your following, your demand, your product. And since this is for beginners, I'm assuming the demand and following are pretty low. You know what? I'm gonna link a video by lumaprints at the end of this one. They talk about pricing and they go into a lot of details. So I recommend you stay through and click on that one at the end if you wanna learn more about pricing. I also wanna take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, which is lumaprints. So thank you, lumaprints, for sponsoring this week's video. Now, let's talk about where to print. I've used many labs over the last 15 years. Tons of them. My favorite so far has been Miller Professional Imaging, and recently lumaprints. Now, Miller's has amazing quality, but high prices, like way higher. Lumaprints surprised me. I've tested metal prints, I've tested canvas prints, fine art papers, and the quality is great. I mean, it is. Those are Luma, that one back there is Luma, and I have a whole bunch of other ones here that are from Lumaprints. Great quality, and the price difference was huge. For example, that big panel behind me, if I had that printed from Miller's Professional Imaging in a framed canvas just like this one, it will cost me $419 with free shipping. Now with lumaprints, I have to pay for shipping. That cost me $111 and $33 shipping. So a total of $145. $419, $145. I mean, literally, that changes everything. Let's go back to the profits. If I sold that print for $600, my profit from Miller Labs is 60 bucks. My profit from Lumaprints would be $335 for the same products. With Lumaprints, I could sell it at $300 and still make money. This is why comparing labs is critical. Now, there are other printing companies out there, a ton, and I've used quite a few of them, but so far these two are my favorites. Prices are gonna vary a lot for different products, but some companies will guarantee showroom quality or gallery quality for double the price. When I saw that, I went to a different printer because you should be giving me the best of the best every time, not asking for double the money to guarantee quality. I mean, come on. So stay away from those printers. Other printers limit your sizes. Okay, so in this example, Miller's Professional Imaging. That print behind me is actually 20 by 48. It's a very large panel. And when I made it, I cropped it in those dimensions because I wanted to see the fog at the bottom. I wanted more water, less sky. If I had that printed through Miller's, I would have to crop the sides because they only do standard sizes. So it would be a 24 by 48. So now I'm cropping in and I'm losing the edges. You know, it's part of this story. I don't want to crop that out. I could also crop it into a 30 by 45 or a 15 by 30, but I have to crop. Something is going to be cropped out. Very few labs let you print custom sizes, and not just the print, but also the frame. This is one by Lumaprints. It's 20 by 48, custom print, custom, solid, beautiful frame at no extra cost. Now, let's talk about paper types because this could get confusing pretty quickly. There's matte, glossy, metallic, fine art, there's textured. Fine art most often means textured, matte, and usually more expensive. Now, Lumaprints offers a variety of papers in their fine art prints. So you have something like your premium archival smooth, your hot press smooth matte, cold press textured, semi-glossy luster, metallic fine art, glossy photo, Somerset velvet. Now, here's what I recommend. print the same photo in a variety of papers. You can go small. You don't have to break the bank or spend a lot of money. This is metallic. This is that Somerset velvet that looks amazing. But by printing the same photo in different papers, different textures, you get to see what you like. You get to see the difference in each one. The metallic looks really good. I like the more subtle matte look. See, this one has a lot of texture. For this print, it doesn't go there. Now this one is slight texture, and I really do like this one. Perfect. It looks beautiful, but I also like this one, which other companies would call the E-surface print. But by printing the same print on a variety of papers, you get to see what you're gonna get when you print it big. So you don't wanna waste any money. Spend 30 bucks, analyze, examine the print, and then you can decide what works for you and what size works best for that particular print. It's a cheap test, and you'll instantly see the difference. And then you can decide having this in your hand, because when you read it, it's very difficult to make a decision. But having it in your hand, it is extremely helpful, and I think that's my favorite. Here's another tip. Let's say you want to enlarge a photo and you want to print it 20 by 40, 30 by 40, and you don't know if you have the necessary dimensions. Crop it down, like fill in the paper, and then print it at this size. So then you get to see what that full photo is going to look like. And see, it's got dimension, it looks good. I would be happy with that if it's printed large. But by printing it small, you only spend $5 and you get to see the detail on that close-up. If it holds the detail, then your full image will too. Now, when we talk about printing, we can also get into detail with the color calibrating and all of this. Like I said earlier, this video is for beginners. I feel that calibrating your monitors to the printer might be a little bit more advanced, and honestly, I've never had any issues with prints and what they look like on my screen. The only time I've had an issue, and remember, I've ordered from multiple labs, but the only time I've had an issue was when I ordered from Fine Art America, or at that time it was pixels.com, and it just had a slight green tint, but it was barely noticeable. The only reason I noticed is because I saw it side by side to a different one, and it was literally just a slight change in the green. And again, most people won't notice that. If you really want to try this, then you can order just like this, order a bunch of small samples, 4x6, they can be very small, and just a couple dollars, just so you can compare the colors and see if it matches your monitor. Or you could purchase a Spider Pro device for like 300 bucks and make sure. But again, I feel like that's just a little bit more advanced, so let's move on to the drop shipping. Platforms like Zenfolio that I used for 10 years, they allow you to create a storefront, set prices, and ship directly to your customers without having to get out of bed in the morning. Now, they charge yearly fees plus other fees, order fees. They even charge you shipping fee on your own orders, which is why I switched to Squarespace. Now, Squarespace it's just a website. If you want to order things, it's manual ordering. You get more control, but it's a lot more work. And yes, there is also a yearly fee. If you order a print from my Squarespace, I would have to go to the lab and order that manually for you. Now, this means there's a lot of room for mistakes and a lot more work from my part. Plus, I have to stay organized and keep those folders on my computer for each one of those photos. Now, I don't know about you, but I have tons of versions for those photos, so that quickly became extremely difficult to manage. Then I found integration with lumaprints. So now the orders are synced automatically. There's no extra fees, no manual work. Once it's set up, it's good to go. And that, to me, that's a big deal. I tested this out when I set up a page on my Squarespace store to purchase a laptop for Ocean, the aspiring 8-year-old YouTuber. Which he loves, by the way. Now, I also want to thank you all that supported this project. Not only did we get him a computer, I was able to test this lumaprints integration myself. It was a little bit difficult at the beginning. There's a lot of setup and prices, and depending on how many things you have on your store, you have to match that to the lumaprints. But right away, their customer service was great. I got into a couple of video calls with them. They walked me through every step of the way, from setting prices and products and sizes. Like, they really made sure that the integration was seamless. lumaprints. And it's not just integrating with your Squarespace store. Lumaprints can do the same thing with your Shopify, your Etsy, WooCommerce, and a bunch more. And it's free. There is no fee for setting up your store to print directly. The moment of truth, and please stay with me because this is very important. Landscape prints do not sell that great at the beginning. Most photographers make money from workshops, teaching, and client work. This is something I learned from experience, from other landscape photographers that I know personally, and from other YouTubers that do the same thing. As a beginner, it is hard to find buyers for your art. I mean, let's face it, you need to build a reputation and have a following. It can take years and a lot of marketing. So what actually works? This is easy. Client work, like portraits, pets, weddings, family, corporate, upsell prints, or bundle them into your packages. Here is where the real money is. You get paid to shoot, then you upsell your prints. Now, if you need a little bit of extra help when it comes to doing this type of commercial photography, I have a complete course available on how to do this. I also have booklets that you can take with you and guide you through your shoot step by step so you don't forget anything while you're on set. Camera settings, compositions, lighting, literally everything you need to know to maximize your chances as a professional photographer. I'll put a link down in the video description. Look, I get it. We all want to sell landscapes, but most of us have to start by doing the work that we don't love to eventually afford the work that we do. This is something I learned years ago from another YouTuber photographer here, Jared Poland, Wollertz Photo. 1.5 million subscribers. And he said something to the effect that sometimes you have to do the jobs you have to do to afford the jobs you want to do. And this is totally normal. Look at most people. They go to work 5 days a week so you can afford to do what you want to do on the weekend. Why would it be any different for photography? Yes, we all want to sit back and make millions from our prints. But when you're starting out, it is incredibly difficult. So put your camera to work with the lenses you already have and start making some money so you can build a reputation, a following, and become a successful photographer. If you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to check out lumaprints in the link down below. Compare prices, literally go around and compare prices, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, bye.
Take your place in the light with your